I don't like those news stories that's scary either, man. That's why I don't like watching the news no more. Because when I was a kid, just news stories be regular, real stuff, you know, like about the world or whatever. But now they'll have little personal stories that have nothing to do with nobody, and they present it as the news, you know, and then you don't want to see them, you know. And I noticed the latest one, they all seem to have, the show will open the news, and there'll be a guy with a suit and a tie, so you know he's a newsman. And he goes, hey, our top story tonight, a lady has vanished. And you're like, oh, yeah? And they go, yes, she's gone. Oh, yeah? Do I know her? No. You never heard of her, but we're going to tell you about her. We got Bill. He's on the outside. They have one guy inside, one guy outside. Bill, what's going on? And then Bill's outside. He's like, yeah, the lady vanished. Her name was Janice, and nobody can find her hiding her hair of her car was found in the car's fine. It's in the Burger King lot, but we can't find the lady. All right, back to you. And, you know, so then you're at home, you go, well, I don't give a damn on account I never knew her in the first place. How can I possibly care? As a matter of fact, I'm happy it's her and not someone I know. So, but then they go, we'll tell you about it. You go, no, that's cool, you know. I don't really want to know. But they can't help themselves, you know. They go, here she, oh, hey, Bill, you still outside? And he's like, yeah, of course. And they go, we understand you have some friends, a Janice, to tell you about. Yes, we've been talking to some of her friends anyways. Turns out she's a good lady. Breaking news, Janice was a good lady. And we got some of her friends here going to talk about it. And then they show a lady and says, Janice's friend. And she says, oh, Janice, man, she was the greatest. She was the kind of person where you could walk into a room and she would light up the whole room. You know, it was amazing. She didn't have a light or nothing like that. She would just somehow, through sheer tyranny of will, she could make a room light up. Some of us thought it was supernatural, but. And then this is other Janice's friend. Oh, Janice. She was the type of lady I remember that you could always turn to. You know how sometimes you want to turn your neck, you know, because you're having troubles. You want to, you know, or your neck hurts, whatever. But when you turn, the person you most want to see in your eye line would be Janice, you know. And then, if you say Janice's other friend that wasn't one of the first two, well, Janice, she's the kind of person, you could be talking to your best friend the whole world, you know, and then Janice comes in and goes, screw you, I'm talking to Janice. You know, you go over to Janice, she's a better person than you. It's Janice. And so then at home, you start to get invested in Janice. You start liking her, you know what I mean? And every day they show you more about Janice, you know, and they show different home videos of her, and you're like, hey, honey, look. Oh, I like that hat she's wearing. She's eating a piece of pizza, you know? And you start really liking her, you know? You go, ah, man, that lady's nice. I'd like to meet her one day. I forgot she vanished. Oh, well, they'll find her. I'm sure of this. Then you get hope, you know, and all you can think about is Janice. You know, your feverish dreams are commanded by Janice's spirit, you know. You can't even think right, you know. And every day you're turning on the news, man, what's going on with Janice? And they keep going, telling, you know, and things progress, you know, and Bill's still outside, and he's like, we're still looking, it's been 3 weeks now. But as we speak, everyone's combing the woods behind me as we speak. And then you're at home, you go, oh, no, not the woods. You don't like to hear that. Nothing good ever happens in the woods. I've seen enough of these stories to realize that Janice is not going to come bounding out of the woods anytime soon. It's like, hey, what's going on, everybody? I was just taking a stroll through the woods. What's going on? Why are you taking pictures of me anyway? What's going on? Now, if they find you in the woods, generally, they find you in one spot. As a matter of fact, exclusively, every time, if you're found in the woods, you're found in a shallow grave. That's the way it works. I don't know why, but I've seen enough Bill Curtis specials to know that shallow grave is where you want to end up. Certain things you don't want on your death certificate. One would be shallow grave. Massive. You wouldn't want to see that on your death certificate, the word massive. Or maybe you would. I don't know. Maybe that'd be a good one. What about complications? That's the one that always confused me. I'm like, what the fuck? You go, hey, Doc, would my dad die again? It's complicated. It's complications. He died from them. Well, how'd that work? You told me it was going to be a simple operation. Yeah, we thought it was. You're not a doctor, are you? It looks simple in the book. But once we cut him open, man, a lot of red stringy stuff in your dad. Very complicated when you get in there, really. Well, anyways, goodbye. So, yeah, you don't want to see shallow grave in any of your, in any of the Fourth Estate's account on your being dispatched. And also, doesn't it seem a little rash, a shallow grave, Like after all their planning, these serial killers, they're supposed to be so cunning, so diabolical according to the TV movies I've seen. And doesn't it seem a little rash at the end that all of a sudden it's just shallow grave, It's just, wouldn't you think they'd go to a little, There's like, there you go, a couple of leaves and a twig. That doesn't look like Janice. I don't remember Janice having twigs and leaves all over. Nobody will find her. A Boy Scout ain't going to stumble over her tomorrow morning, I know that much. I'm going home and await the authorities. And then they go home. Now, I would, if I ever did that, and I would never slaughter and kill a woman. I want you to know that. I know I say that now. Who knows? Can't predict the future, but I know there's not a river long enough that does not contain a bend. But I believe right now I would not slaughter a woman. And maybe it's just vanity talking. The scriptures say that man is mostly vanity. But in my vanity, I do not believe I would do it, But if I did do it, if I somehow snapped, because who would ever know, I would plan it out. I'd be very, very careful about it, I would track the lady, because there's still a stigma, even in today's enlightened society, when you slaughter a lady. So I would track the lady. You understand? I would find out, this is what you got to do. You got to find out her habits, Like maybe you go, hey, man, I know she goes to that cheese sandwich store every day, and when she comes back, she's got a big paper bag of stuff. I'll bet you anything there's cheese sandwiches in there. Eh? So then you put that up in your head. Lady likes cheese sandwiches. It's one piece of information. But you take your time, Then you notice, you see another pattern. You go, hey, every Wednesday night, that lady goes down to the gymnasium and plays basketball with other ladies, which is fine nowadays. So, what I would do is I would stand outside of the gym, and she'd come out there all sweaty with a ridiculously tricolored ball, and she'd be finished her game, and then where would I be? I'd be standing at the other side of the parking lot, and in my hand, what do you think would be resting but a cheese sandwich, right? So then she'd go, hey, what's in your hand? I go, what, nothing? She goes, yeah, there's something in your hand. I go, there's nothing in my hand. I don't know what you're talking about. She goes, there's something in your hand. I'm not blind. I see something in your hand. I go, there's nothing in my, oh yeah, this. Oh no, it's just a cheese sandwich. What? Why, you like them or something? I got a whole bunch in that van over there. Yeah, that craziest looking van you've ever seen in your life. It's right over there. You want to go through? And by the way, if you ever do this, and I don't think you ever should, you don't have to have cheese sandwiches in the van. You know, unless you're proud of your detailed work or something like that. I don't want you to go, if you're a frugal serial killer, I'm the last that would advise you to throw away all kinds of money on cheese and double the amount on bread, you know? Should bread and cheese cost the exact same amount of money? But I would plan it out. That's what I'm saying. And then I would take the lady in the, and I would never do this, of course, but I would take the lady in the van to a remote area, you know, where there was a wooden shack that I had constructed, and then I would do whatever it is that they do that gives you that godlike power, and then I would take her to the woods and I would bury her in the deepest grave ever. That would be most of my plan. The grave. Like 2 years before I had selected a victim, I would be working on the grave. I'd get 50, 100-foot grave. As a matter of fact, if I had any sense in my head, as my dad used to say about me, I would start digging the grave now, just in case, because you never know when you're going to snap. You know, I should go home and just dig a big, deep 100-foot grave, yeah. And worst case scenario, like my dad used to say, "Hey, a little hard work never hurt anybody. God damn it," you know. And best case scenario, I slaughter a lady and get away with it. If you're gonna slaughter a lady, and I'm completely against it, it's much better to slaughter a lady and get away with it than slaughter a lady and not get away with it. That's just I don't know, because I've not done either. You know, I would have to talk to one of you that have done both to really get an answer. But I would suspect, like anything, not getting caught, you know, is the better choice than getting caught.